Hi guys, I'm Gasha. Welcome to the channel and welcome to our coffee times together. Today I'm here to talk to you about my August TBR and also talk about the books that I'm going to try to read during the 48 hours Evil-a-thon.
It's coffee time!
So first I'm going to talk about two books that I am definitely going to be checking out during the Evil-a-thon, and the rest we shall see what I'm more in the mood for during that weekend. So the first one is a book that is going to fulfill the prompt of reading a horror short stories book, and that is Who's There? A collection of stories by Dimas Rio, and the author of the book actually did reach out to me and talk to me about his book, and I decided to pick it up myself because I thought it sounded really interesting, and I love to read always horror short stories. And what I love about this is that it takes place in modern Indonesia, but it is inspired by folklore, and it has a kind of like a wide mix of different stories. So I am so excited for this one, and I'll be reading it during the Evil-a-thon so I can give you my thoughts on it. And the next one is The Festering Ones by S.H. Cooper. This is going to fulfill the prompt of something blue on the cover and a horror book or novella under 200 pages because this is a short one. And what I like about this horror one is that it's based on faith, and when she was young she saw how her mother was being dragged away by a woman that had, you know, arms like spider legs. So 20 years later, Faith still doesn't know what happened to her mom. She has never been found, and there is some strange force that is pulling her back to her hometown and to kind of investigate what happened to her mom, and she ends up coming across a cult. So love it. I absolutely love this plot and I cannot wait to read it. The next one that I want to read in August, it is When the Sky Goes Dark by Oliver C. Seneca, and this one the author was so kind to send it my way. He even like signed it for me, and you know, I am so humbled that he contacted me and wanted me to read his book. I appreciate it so much, so thank you so much. And actually this is a book that is so down my alley because it is a post-apocalyptic story, and we have Jonathan that is kind of thinking about his future in college and what he wants to do with his life, when there is this kind of weird outbreak outside and inside the college in which people are turning really violent and a lot of things are going down. So he finds himself in a quest kind of trying to reach his loved ones to see if they are okay, if they've been murdered, if something happened to them, or if they have turned violent, and what is turning people this violent, because people seem like they've lost their minds. So is there something that is kind of infecting them? What's going on? We don't know, but we're going to figure it out together with Jonathan, and I am really excited for this one. Next we have As an Old Memory by Vic Carey. I talked about this book on my video about new releases for August 2020, and I was lucky enough to get a copy from NetGalley, so I will be reading this one. This is a Southern Gothic novel about a tragedy that happened in the 1950s. There was a massacre where everybody was killed except Charlotte McAdams. So there's always been kind of weird stuff happening around that night, around the massacre, and the anniversary of that night is around the corner, so all the members of the family are in danger. The next one is one that it's been on my TBR for the longest time. I bought this book on the release date. I even have a Waterstones exclusive copy of it, and I still have not read it, and I mean, the shame, because the next book in the series has already been out for a bit, so I really need to catch up, and that is A Map of Days by Ransom. This is book 4 on Miss Peregrine's School for Peculiar Children series. I really enjoy this series. I have noticed through the years that people either love them or hate them. So there's people that really enjoy them and people that just cannot even, you know, finish the first book. So I think it's kind of like a hit or miss for a lot of people, but I personally really enjoy the stories. I love the pictures that are in the books. That's always a plus point for me when we have like creepy, disturbing pictures inside of books. Always perfect addition. And I really cannot wait, because I thought after the original trilogy that we were done, that I was not gonna see my kids anymore, but now we get book 4, book 5 is out, so I still have more pages to live their adventures with them. In case you are not familiar with the book series, it is about a teenager whose grandpa used to tell him stories about this island where they live these kids with special powers, and after his grandpa dies and he believes he has been murdered because he knew too much, he decides to go and investigate to find this school for peculiar children. One of the things that I really love about the books is to get to know all the different kids, get to know all their different abilities, and this is such a great fantasy story with like supernatural kind of elements added to it here and there. I really enjoy it. Next we have another one that has been on my list for so long and I really need to get to it, and that is A Head Full of Ghosts by Tremblay. I really like his writing and his story, so I really need to get to it. So this is, as far as I know, an exorcism story. We have a family whose young daughter kind of starts to have what they think is schizophrenia, and she starts to lose her mind more and more, and there's a point where the family reaches out to a Catholic priest and asks for help. So I'm guessing this is going to be kind of like an exorcism story, a possession story, and I am so down for it, and I've heard so many good things about it that I just cannot wait. The next books that I'm going to be reading are all for my Kindle. The first one is Club When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. This is a YA contemporary, so since I read The Poetics by Elizabeth Acevedo, I fell in love with her writing, and I've heard so many good things about this book. It is about two girls that, even though they did not know each other previously, they kind of connect because they both lost their fathers on a plane crash. So it is supposed to be a very hard-hitting contemporary, and I believe it is based on something that actually happened, and I cannot wait to read it. I've heard so many good things about it, so yeah, another one that I'm really excited to read. So these are actually the only books that I have really planned to read throughout the month of August, but because I might be taking some time off, some holidays this month. I always like to take, holidays around my birthday, and also because I'm going to be doing the 48 hours kind of sprint reading for the Evil-a-thon. It could be that at the end of the month I have some extra time to check out other books. We shall see, no pressure, but I have listed 2 more books in case that I need something else, something extra, and those are Out of Body by Jeffrey Ford, which is short and came out in 2020, and I also got it from my Kindle. And the other one is Rain Will Come by Thomas Holgate. This is only 300 pages and it is a mystery thriller. I believe it came out also at the beginning of this year, so also to kind of catch up with the new releases that I purchased. And this will be everything that I'm going to be attempting to read throughout the month of August. Really excited about the Evil-a-thon as well, and hopefully I will get a lot of reading done that weekend. Let's hope so. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below, what are you going to be reading for the month of August? Let's talk about it in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. If you want to follow me into the social media, the links as always down below, and I hope to see you all in the next coffee time. Bye!